They say you shouldn't go looking for answers in dead places. Sometimes, the silence is not empty. Sometimes, it's listening. I was never one to believe in ghosts, legends, or curses. I believed in logic. Until the night I entered St. Arnaud's hospital and saw with my own eyes what should not exist. This is the story of how I escaped and why he's still in there, waiting. It started like all stupid stories do with a dare. My friends and I, 4 of us in total, had grown addicted to urban exploration videos. We called ourselves Ghost Proof. Idiots with cameras. Basically, there was me, Josh. Then Micah, the loud one. Rachel, the skeptic. And Devin, quiet, camera-obsessed. When Micah suggested we explore the old St. Arnaud's asylum, I hesitated. Everyone in town knew the stories. It had been shut down in 1983 after a patient burned himself alive in the basement. No bodies recovered, just ash. The place had stayed locked ever since. Locals said strange lights came from inside. Screams at night. Classic horror crap, right? We went anyway. We snuck in through a collapsed back wall, under rusted caution tape. The smell hit fur stamp rot and something metallic like old blood. The halls were covered in graffiti and mold, peeling paint like skin on bone. Devin's camera started glitching almost immediately. "Cheap battery," he mumbled, but I saw his hands shake. We made our way toward the surgical wing, the place where the cursed patient supposedly died. As we moved deeper, I started feeling watched, not by something human, but something bitter, broken, hungry. We found the records room almost by accident. Thick dust coated everything. Rachel opened a drawer. "Look at this." A file. Patient 138. Name, David Mercer. His photo was stapled to the top pale man. Sharp jaw, hollow eyes like an empty grave. He was admitted in 1977, diagnosed with manic schizophrenia. But what stood out was a single note. "Do not allow exposure to mirrors. Patient claims he splits when he sees himself." Micah laughed. "What the hell does that even mean?" Then we heard it. Footsteps. Down the hall. Slow. Dragging. We froze. Micah, brave idiot that he was, whispered, "Probably a raccoon." He walked toward the noise. What we heard next wasn't a raccoon. There was a sudden, horrible crack like bone hitting concrete. Then a scream, sharp, panicked, cut short. We ran, flashlights swinging wildly. We found him in the stairwell. His head was twisted the wrong way, neck shattered. His face, God, it looked like it had been slammed repeatedly into the wall. Rachel screamed. Devin vomited. Me? I saw something in the shadows above the stairs. Not a man. Not a ghost. Something in between. And it stared directly at me. Devin said we had to leave. But I needed to know what was in the basement where David Mercer died. We argued. In the end, Rachel and Devin stayed back while I descended alone. The deeper I went, the colder it got. Not natural, cold bone cold, like the air itself was dead. At the bottom, I found a rusted door, slightly open. Inside, a surgical room. And in the center, a mirror, cracked down the middle. Black stains covered the floor. Not blood, something darker, like tar. On the wall, scratched in jagged letters, "He only lives when you look away." Then the mirror started to clear, and I saw him. David Mercer, standing behind me, smiling. I ran up the stairs, through the hall, found Devon, but Rachel was missing. Then we heard it from the examination room. We burst in, too late. Rachel was on the table, strapped down, wrists sliced wide. But the blood, it didn't flow. It hovered midair, like strings being pulled. And there he was again. David. No, not David anymore. Something wearing David. It whispered, but the words weren't sounds. They were in my head. The mirror doesn't reflect. It remembers. Then the lights went out. Devon and I ran down the hallway, kicking open every door, trying to find the way out. But the hospital, it had changed. Walls that weren't there before. Doors where windows used to be. It was like the building was alive, trapping us. We found an old gurney blocking an exit. Devon tried to push it, and something dragged him backward into the dark. His screams didn't stop for 30 seconds. I counted everyone, then silence. I was alone. I turned a corner, and there he was again. David Mercer. He looked like me now. Same clothes, same eyes. A mirror of my fear. He reached out. "You brought the camera," he said. "Now I'll never be forgotten." And I understood. He didn't want revenge. He wanted witnesses. People to see his pain, to suffer it, to carry his curse forward. I ran. The way out, it wasn't through the doors. It was up. I climbed the collapsed elevator shaft, fingernails tearing, breathing blood. He was right behind me, laughing, screaming in a voice that sounded like mine. But I made it. I pulled myself onto the roof and leapt off the edge into the trees below. My leg broke. I don't remember much after that, but I woke up in a hospital, a real one. 3 days later, Micah, Rachel, and Devon were listed as missing. Their bodies were never found. I was charged with trespassing. That's it. But every night since, I felt it. A shadow in my mirror, a cold breath on my neck. Sometimes I dream I'm back inside, and when I wake up, I see footprints leading to the mirror. You may think I'm lying, that this is just a story, just another ghost tale. But if you ever find yourself near the ruins of St. Arnaud's Asylum, and you see a man in the window, smiling like he knows you, run, because I escaped. But he's still in there, waiting.